today I want to show you how to make a very easy but very pretty stitch. It is perfect for absolute beginners and it's very easy. I will be using a 3.5mm hook and I'm now starting with a slip knot. This tension ring is completely optional. I just find it very cute. So we have our slip knot and now we need to chain in multiples of 2. So simply chain an even number of chains until you're absolutely happy with the length of your chain, because that will then be the length of your project. I would suggest to try the stitch out first with a shorter chain so you can exercise the stitch and you can then be happy to start on bigger projects. Once you're done with your foundation chain, starting from the second chain from the hook, make a single crochet. So pull up a loop from the second chain and then pull through the 2 loops that you have on your hook. Now insert your hook into the same chain where you just made your single crochet from, and pull up a loop and pull up a loop from the next 2 chains as well. Now you will find 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all the loops and chain 1. That's your first stitch. Now insert the hook in the same chain where you just made your stitch and in the next 2. So you can again have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all of them again and chain 1. So this is going to be your pattern for all the rows that you will be working. However, this first one is always kind of a setup row. So it's not this one, the repeat row that we will be doing as our second row. So for this one, just keep working this very easy stitch that starts into the same stitch where you just finished your previous stitch, and then it goes into the next 2. So pulling up a loop from 3, basically 3 stitches, and always remember that you need to have 4 loops on your hook, and continue until you reach the end of your row. I will continue with you. I made this small sample on purpose to be able to let you follow along with the process. So we are now a few stitches away from the end of the row. So let's make the last ones together. So pull up your loops and again 4 on the hook, pull through all of them and chain 1. Now for your final stitch, you just work it as you did until now. So pull up your loops until you have 4 loops on your hook, pull through all of them, but this time don't chain. Work a half double crochet into that last chain where you just pulled your last loop from. So yarn over and pull through all the loops, and this is your first row done. Now chain 1 and turn your work. We will start with a single crochet into the first stitch and we will insert the hook again into the same stitch and pull up our loop and into the next 2 stitches. So we will again have our 4 loops, pull through all of them and chain 1 again. So this is going to be our repeat row for the rest of the project. And these are the same exact steps that we did for our setup row. It's just working the stitches into the actual stitches from the first row instead of in the chains, but the steps are always the same. So pull up your loops until you have 4 loops on the hook, pull through all of them and chain 1. And remember that at the end of every row you won't need a chain. Instead you will need to work a half double crochet into that last stitch. Also always remember to start pulling up the loops from the same stitch where you just finished working your stitch from, and just keep working this pattern until you're happy with the length of your project. And I will keep working with you for a few more stitches, and then I will show you what the pattern looks like. It looks similar to a flower pattern, and I'm sure it would be great for the majority of the projects. I would say blankets would look amazing with this, but also more wearable pieces like clothes, scarves, they would all look very good with this stitch. So I would say give it a try and let me know